I'm Steve Willis, and I'm the chairman of the board for the Center for a Sustainable Coast. And I'm for Bernie Sanders because I am very strongly of the belief that we need to talk about issues. America's got big problems, and we need to stop just talking about one personality, one celebrity or another. I think that if we don't do that, we're just going to always end up letting the banks and Wall Street and big corporations run things, which is the way they want it. And they don't really have any interest in our interest at all. I'm also for Bernie Sanders because I think he's a real person, a person that I can stand behind. And I think that if people don't get out and back Bernie Sanders right now and go to the wire right now, they're going to end up always with a choice between a generic Bush and a generic Clinton.
We want a middle class. And that is what is the basis of our consumer economy, is a strong middle class, and that's what we've lost out in the past few years. I think if we do something that affects the size of the largest banks, you need to break up the concentrations of wealth. Wealth itself is not bad. But if it gets too concentrated, like in banks that are too big to fail, well, why are they too big to fail? Because we have a lot of tax-paying Americans that ensure that it's too big to fail. But what if the tax-paying Americans decided to vote for someone who said, hey, let's don't have a bank that's too big to fail?
Why are you for Bernie?
Yeah, they are.
Because he's fighting, like almost nobody else is, the corporatization of America. You've got corporatization of the healthcare system, the military, politics, foreign policy, and it's all connected to the corporatization of America. If we can get the corporate influence out of politics, we can make so many changes. But none of these things that are affected by these corporations are going to get changed until we can get the corporation and the corporate influence out of politics.
I do remember the days when you used to be able to find good work, and I do remember the days when unions were strong. I was married to a man who was in a union, and he had a good wage. He made almost $80,000 a year as an electrician. I would like to live in a world where everybody has freedom, where the economy is strong, where we actually have a middle class. The middle class is kind of disappearing. It's going the way of the dinosaur. What needs to go the way of the dinosaur is all this old-fashioned thinking. All this conservatism is horrible. You know, people should be allowed to love and marry who they want. It doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight. People should be allowed to be who they are, whether you're a man, woman, transgender. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and lately it seems like the land of the oppressed and the home of the suppressed.
How do you think Bernie will affect that if he gets elected?
Bernie seems to be a genuine, authentic human being who cares about other human beings.
So what's your name?
Bill Hurd.
Bill, you're out here supporting Bernie Sanders?
Yes, I am.
How come?
Well, I like his position on political views. I like his politics. I like the way he wants to reform health care. What we have now is a compromise, a free market compromise, which made a lot of conservatives happy, but it really is not all that great for working people because it still costs a lot of money, and people shouldn't have to spend a lot of money to be healthy. I also like him because he is a true progressive. Our nation needs a progressive president. I also like him because of his stand on our military. I think if anybody attacks us, that he will respond in kind with strength and shock and awe, as another president has said. But I don't think that he will gear our economy and our national ethos towards making war.
Whitney, and I live on Tybee Island, Georgia, and I support Bernie Sanders because he's concerned about the things I'm concerned about.
What are those things?
He supports free tuition for public colleges. He's looking to lower fossil fuel dependence for America. He wants to dismantle all the big banks, which is a very good thing, and he wants to make elections not to be about corporations, but to be about individuals.
So you're going to work for his campaign this year?
Absolutely.